Feeling pretty good actually. That was a surprisingly good show.
Why was it surprising?
You know, when I walked in and there were like 10 people here, I was a little worried, but it is July 5th and everybody was out getting blitzed last night, so it's understandable. But I think when the energy in the room supports what's happening on stage, it makes it feel good, and you know, when you're having fun on stage, you have a good show.
So tell us about the actual show with Black Thought.
The show is the J Period Live Mixtape. So basically what that is a concept that I created really to bring what I do on a mixtape to life on stage. So it's all about the energy, the ebb and flow, like the continuous flow of music on a mixtape, and bringing that feeling to the stage. Because most hip-hop shows are very start and stop. And originally, the first incarnation of the live mixtape was a bunch of different artists that would, you know, one after the next get up on stage, and it would be like, you know, I would drop a record that would rock the crowd but surprise the artists backstage. And I did that a couple years ago with Black Thought, and realized that really, you know, he's such a dope MC that he could support the whole show. So we tried it once in Toronto where it was just the two of us, and it really went off. So since then we've been doing it, you know, every couple months a different show in a different city. We've actually done about 10 to 15 so far this year, and they've been going great, so it's cool.
You ready? Let's go. Let's go. I said, give thanks, give praise to the Most High. 21 gun salute, get your toe side. Thinking the test of the truth, get your whole side. You gon' wind up, getting fucked like a choke child. I'm on the throne, keep a microphone close by, cause I gotta touch something. So die, and I can do it on my own like Oprah. But I gotta do it with your back like Chopra. Me and my super team, reppin' the super team. Pull up with something European, looking super clean. Number one shorty in my love, man, Billy Jean. Number one roller 40 seat, and listen, Billy Jean. We getting clean since when he wrote that Billy Jean. I'm just between killing things, our killer things. My lady, she a real queen from the Philippines. I'm a boss, the whole of a pause and killer scream.
Just a live thing, or is it like a mixtape that people can download?
Well, you know, the first one that we did in Toronto at this festival called the Manifesto, it was a live mixtape on stage, and then I actually recorded it and made a mixtape of the live mixtape that we made available. We've actually tried to do it a couple times, but the sound recording hasn't been, you know, on point yet to be able to actually make another mixtape out of it. But tonight would have been a great night to do it. I didn't even record tonight because I thought, oh, there's not that many people in the room. It's not going to be.
Vodka Gimlet?
Yes, thank you. Cheers.
Hello, sir.
Hey, how's it going? Cheers to you out there.
That's an important interruption, that we can deal with that. So, you know, you must have achieved so much that you've set out to achieve in your career. So, like, what now? What next?
Honestly, I don't feel like I've achieved anything. I look at myself as such a young buck compared to guys like Black Thought and the other people that I've been fortunate enough to work with, that I feel like I have so much left to do. I really just scratching the tip of the iceberg. Like, it's great that in the mixtape world I get, you know, respect and accolades and so forth and so on, but there's a much bigger universe out there that I want to tap into. So, you know, I feel like I'm just at the beginning of a long road. But, you know, I've been very fortunate, like I said, to have legends like, you know, Black Thought, Questlove, Q-Tip, Rakim, you know, Lauryn Hill, Mary J. Blige, like people that I looked up to when I was a kid supporting me. So, you know, for that reason, I feel like if I'm not all the way to my goal, I'm at least on the path and I'm moving in the right direction for sure.
And what's been your most exciting project today?
My most exciting, honestly, I have to say it's probably a toss-up. The Q-Tip mixtape was incredible because so many different artists came to support that project and did songs for me. So I did covers of old Tribe Called Quest songs, and De La Soul, and Black Thought, and Pharoah Monch, and Questlove, and Kweli, and you know, all these people came to do songs for me, Busta Rhymes, and that made that project really special. But the most recent one I did with John Legend and the Roots, I think I got a copy in my back right here.
There you go.
This probably was creatively my biggest accomplishment because it was the first time the artist actually gave me the sessions from the recording of the album to take and remix. So it really was telling me that they had a lot of confidence in my ability to take that and put my twist on it. And so for that reason, you know, this one really is an important one in my sort of career trajectory.
I said, hush, nobody say a fucking word. Put the sign on the door, do not disturb. I'ma show y'all people how to kill a mockingbird. It is whole network like Mark Zuckerberg. Witnesses confirmed when gunshots occurred. Apparently the trigger man smoke lots of herb. And he can call your name, not as a word. And guarantee you'll be the last one you ever
And what's your favourite piece of production equipment?
Favorite piece of production equipment? I mean, the MPC is my favorite. But to be honest, like I've really sort of switched over to these Ableton Live and Machine. You know, the folks at Ableton and the folks at Native Instruments have been, you know, kind enough to hook me up with those devices, and I really am finding that it makes my life so much easier. The same way that Serato did for DJing, just having everything in one place and being able to manipulate things in an infinite number of ways. You know, Ableton and Machine allows me to do that. And tonight's whole show actually was, you know, first the tracks were produced in Ableton, and then I bring it to Serato to mix and cut and do all of that. So that's been a ridiculous and invaluable tool for sure.
What was your first big break?
My first big break was a friend of mine, DJ G Brown, was invited to a listening session for Nas, for Godson, and he couldn't go, and he gave me his pass, and I went, and Nas actually showed up, and all these college radio DJs were there, and I was like, you know, sort of a spy in the room, like I didn't belong there, and they were interviewing him, and I put my recorder down on the table, and while I was recording the whole interview, I thought how crazy it'd be to take that interview and chop it up with music and make a mixtape out of it. And I went up to him at the end of the session and I said, you know, I have this idea, I want to do a Best of Nas and mix all this together. And he gave me a cosign and a drop, and that really was kind of where it all started for me.
Big. Have you ever had problems over copyright?
Yes, I definitely had copyright issues.
All right then.
I mean, hip hop is an interesting, I mean, from a legal standpoint, interesting world to work in, because the whole genre is based on taking the best bits and pieces of other genres. And I think when money became an issue, it became a lot more difficult to get your hands on those things. And what I love about mixtapes is that it's no holds barred. Like I can do whatever I want, and I have the endorsement of the artist, so I really don't get in trouble. There's only one I've done where I got in trouble, and that one I was hired by the record label to do it. They paid me, and then afterwards they decided that they had a problem with it, so it never came out. And that was the Best of Mary J. Blige.
It never came out.
Never came out. I mean, some people got it, and it found its way online, but it never officially was released. So since then, my mission has been to tackle copyright law and to figure out how to make it make sense for the labels. So working with catalog companies directly, and working with other outlets like film, trailer companies, people that can actually pay to clear the samples. And I've had some success with that, but I still have a long way to go.
Peace. Thank you.
Peace.